From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, happy Friday evening to you. It is the weekend. The weekend is almost here. Now, it's going to be gorgeous. You know, we think about the cool and unsettled pattern we saw this week. Wet weather, cold temperatures, windy at times, of course. But we've got mostly sunny and warm conditions over the weekend. Dry and mild to start next week. But next week, we may start to see some changes. The forecast models are still trying to iron out the details on that. But it looks like sometime around the middle to latter part of next week, we've got some wet weather. More on all of that in the deeper dive forecast, but here is a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Friday, November 7th. Now for tonight, I think we're going to see more in the way of clear skies for many of us, and that's going to mean colder temperatures. You're talking upper 20s to 30s for some of the higher elevations, especially north and east of the valley. The valley, around 50 give or take, upper 40s for the coast, and looks like in the 30s and 40s for the mountains west of the valley. So for tomorrow morning, maybe you're going for that morning walk. Should be a nice start to the day. It's going to be dry. There are going to be a few clouds out there for some of you. There may be some fog for some of those mountain and inland valleys, but otherwise mainly clear skies. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, although Modoc County temperatures in the 30s by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we've got high pressure building in. That's the reason why we've got such beautiful weather here over the weekend and even into next week. So for tomorrow, you've got temperatures in the low to maybe some mid-70s for the valley, 60s, 70s for the higher elevations, and low to mid-60s for the coast. Mainly sunny skies. Gorgeous. Couldn't really ask for better weather, quite honestly. You look at that 7-day forecast, and yeah, you're going to keep it that way through early next week. Now, again, as I mentioned, we're going to be ironing out the details. For now, I've got showers in the forecast for next Thursday and Friday. The long-range forecast models are hinting at the potential for a wet weather pattern moving in around the middle to latter part of next week and really fairly prolonged going into that next weekend and maybe even thereafter. So we'll see. It's something we'll be watching here very closely. But in the meantime, get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather over the weekend and even early next week because, again, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Let's go into that deeper dive now, sponsored by Shasta Hearing Aids.
Frank, come help with the dishes.
What?
The dishes!
I heard it the first time. I just got back from Shasta Hearing Aids, but she doesn't know it yet. What?
Forget it!
All right, so we're going into that deeper dive forecast sponsored by Shasta Hearing Aids, but we don't have to dive too deep to really see what's going on because we're still really going to have to wait for a few more forecast model runs before we can really start getting more confidence in next week's rain. But again, in the meantime, what we've got here is big batch of clouds, but we're seeing an arc in the clouds right here. That's because high pressure is building in. So it's going to, number one, break apart this storm, and number two, divert a lot of the energy up to the north. But some of that cloud cover will spill over and make its way through that route of high pressure, and that's why I do expect to see some high and even a few mid-level clouds over the weekend. But you can see this big ridge of high pressure. You see that right here? Here's the ridge. Right, so it's diverting that energy to the north. We still have some rain down to our south. In fact, an area of low pressure looks like it's going to be breaking itself off from the upper level of flow, and low pressure will develop down here. But in the meantime, typically with high pressure, you've got sunny skies, right? But you can see kind of spilling over in that ridge, we do have some of those high and even a few mid-level clouds. So again, I'm watching this area of low pressure here, energy coming from the Gulf of Alaska. Looks like they're going to kind of join forces and then push eastward. And now the forecast models are pretty good agreement. European GFS forecast model indicating that Thursday, Friday would be the best chance for rain. So again, it's still ironing out the details because they've been kind of going back and forth on Wednesday, then back to Thursday, then maybe back to Wednesday, and the overall intensity. Some models are a lot more aggressive with how much rain we're going to see, others not as aggressive. Also, snow levels, I would say at this point, may drop as low as, say, 5,000 feet at points in time. But overall, still not very low snow levels is what I'm anticipating at this point. But again, something we'll be watching here very closely. But just in the meantime, enjoy this beautiful weather. But the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in that wetter than normal category, so it is picking up on the trend, but it's also picking up on the trend of some cooler temperatures that are going to be working their way in toward the middle and latter part of next week. You can see that on the 10-day trend. Beautiful, right? For your Saturday, Sunday, basically mid to upper 70s. And some of us may even flirt with that 80-degree mark. It's getting warmer, but temperatures are dropping. And this is one of the several signs that we look at for that change with the potential for some wet weather is the drop of the temperatures, especially this time of the year. So yeah, this is where we could start to see some of that shower activity begin to move in, but more details on that in the days to come. Now, your wave heights, they are starting to drop here for your Saturday. They'll drop even more for Sunday, so it looks like we have better conditions out there if you do need to be on a small boat. All right, so here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. In Trinity County, you got temperatures on Saturday, gorgeous. Get out there, enjoy it. Go out and take a hike. Go out and go kayaking. Take advantage of what this beautiful North State has to offer. The North Coast, beautiful as well. A few clouds, looks like maybe still some low clouds out there, but the inland areas you're calling for partly cloudy skies, temperatures upper 70s for your daytime highs on Saturday. For your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, those temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Happy Camp, though, a high of about 72 degrees. Modoc County, temperatures somewhere in the low to mid 60s for your daytime high. Cedarville, though, one of the cooler spots at about 58 degrees for that daytime high. We take you down to the south into the eastern mountains here. 68 degrees for Shingletown, 68 for Paradise, and Susanville, a high of about 62 degrees. Your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures in the low 70s. But it is going to be getting warmer, especially by Sunday, as those temperatures getting in the upper 70s. Now, it looks like in the mid 70s for Monday and your Veterans Day. Temperatures starting to drop after that. The cooler temperatures could also lead to the showers that we could possibly see by Thursday and Friday. All right, take you up to the north. 75 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, 74 in Redding, 72 for Whiskeytown, and it looks like Lakehead, about 73 degrees. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Beautiful, beautiful weekend indeed. Temperatures mid 70s for early next week. But then we start to see those temperatures begin to slide back downward in the low 60s by Thursday and Friday. All right, that is your evening update. I am going to be off this weekend, as I typically am, because Chase Wilson will be giving you the forecast throughout the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. with your latest forecast. In the meantime, have yourselves a great night, have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones, too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.